Well, good morning there, everybody. Hey, it is Melanie Mitro, and it is Tuesday, October 31st. Happy Halloween. And I am live here today with my Women Inspiring Women podcast episode, and I am actually live on Facebook or on YouTube right now. So very excited to be here today. So I actually sat down to create this episode on my computer, and about 3 times my hard drive sort of crashed. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm just gonna record it live and we're just gonna go with it, and whatever happens, happens. So here you guys go. You get to be a part of the creation of one of my episodes today if you are live listening to this on YouTube. I'm actually doing this from my phone, which is kind of cool. So anyways, today I had a totally different episode in mind. I was going to talk to you about mindset in a totally different area. I was going to talk about inviting and doing that with confidence. And, you know, I wasn't feeling it. Did you ever kind of wake up in the morning and you're just like, I'm just not feeling it today? And so I went to my archives because I'm that girl that literally has every single personal development book that probably was created and then some, and I've probably read half of all of them because I kind of start and then I stop and then I buy a new one and then I'm off to something different. And so I went to my archives this morning and I grabbed this book. How many of you have ever read the book How to Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins? She is an entrepreneur that has built a very successful business. She is a former school teacher and she is one of the top earners in her company, and she wrote this book, and it's one of the books that I recommend to all new coaches that join up with my team because it just is very basic. It gives you a really good mindset for how to build your business and just kind of the mindset of an entrepreneur. And as I opened it up to the chapter and it says, thinking like a CEO. And the very first thing that I read was taking responsibility for your actions. And I was like, holy cow, this is exactly what I needed to be reading right now. You know, we often, and so we're going to talk a little bit about the 4 or 5 different ways that you can take responsibility for your actions in your business. You know, so when we become a distributor for a company or we start any kind of business venture, a lot of times what I see happen is individuals blame the company for their lack of success. So they blame the products, they blame the compensation plan, they blame the team that they're a part of, the culture, the community. And here's the bottom line. Whose name is on that paycheck? Who signed up, who pressed submit when they signed up to be a part of a company? We did. We all signed up. We have to take ownership of the fact that this is our business. And anybody is capable of achieving any level of success that they want, but we've got to take personal responsibility for our actions on a daily basis. And I was beginning to think about, you know, the company that I am a part of, you know, the company and I've watched us as a company come in. You know, I was on fire as a new distributor, as a new coach, and my business was rising, and I was fueling myself with positivity and excitement, investing in the future and talking about how we were going to be a top team in Team Beachbody. And I was so excited about that. I wasn't letting, you know, failures or distractions or other things get in the way. And then, you know, what happens is, you know, the company doesn't just stay on this high roll all the time. There always are some roadblocks, and there are people that quit, and there are people that change their mind, or, you know, in any business, right? Somebody always kind of blindsides you. And what does it do? It kind of shakes your confidence. It kind of rocks you a little bit. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we start to have these like seeds of doubt, and we start to blame the company that we work for, and we say it's their fault that I'm not successful, when in reality, we've changed some of the actions that got us to be where we are today. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the first thing as a business owner that we need to do to take responsibility for our actions is to make sure that we have established business hours. If you want to build a successful business, you have to treat it like a business. Even when Landon and Bryce were really little and they were 6 months and 2.5 years old, and I was at home in our tiny little townhouse, I was the maid, I was the cook, I was the house cleaner, I did all the laundry, I was the playmate, I kept the kids happy, I ran the show while my husband went to work. And I was like, I'm already busy. I'm already exhausted. My kids aren't sleeping through the night yet. But I want to build this business. I have a vision for it. I see that I can make this happen. I see what it can provide for our family. And so I started to set business hours. I pulled out my calendar. I created a workspace on the corner of our kitchen table. And I sat down and I said, I'm going to treat this like a business. 10 to 15 hours a week, I am going to devote to building my business. And that meant for me that I had to make short-term sacrifices. Short-term sacrifices, like I'm not going to watch Grey's Anatomy or The Bachelor, or I'm not going to take a nap or watch mindless soap operas anymore. I am going to take that time and I am going to put 10 to 15 hours in my week of purposeful business building activity. And I call that income producing activity. So it's not scrolling through Facebook, not chatting up with my friends in the business. It's not, looking for ideas of posts to make. It's not refreshing my back office or organizing myself for the 9,000th time. It is sitting down and saying to myself, I need to present the business opportunity. I need to invite people to try the products and the programs. I need to follow up with people. I need to add new contacts to my list. I need to communicate my vision to my team. I need to be doing activities, 10 to 15 hours a week of income producing activity. How many of you can sit down right now and say, I am doing this activity? I have carved out, I can clearly see it in my calendar, the 10 to 15 hours of income producing activity. Now let me throw this in there. And some of you are gonna say, yep, I've got 10 to 15 hours that I've carved out, but I'm still not getting results. Now I wanna ask you this. Are you actually doing the right behaviors during that time? Are you being purposeful and are you being planned? And I will guarantee you, if you actually sat down for 1 week and you looked at what you spend your time on, I guarantee you're actually spending your time on a lot of things that are not actually income producing, but they're actually time wasting. And so give yourself a good gut check and say, all right, if I want to build my business, I need to be purposeful and planned. Now, you are in charge of your schedule. You are the only person that can say yes or no to things that go on your calendar. Yes, there are gonna be things that are non-negotiable that you can't get off your calendar, but don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to say this commitment sounds amazing and this opportunity sounds awesome, but right now it just doesn't fit into my goals for myself and my family and the kind of balance that I wanna have. And you have to learn to say no to things that don't fit. You also have to be willing to make short-term sacrifices for long-term success. The early mornings that I put into my business, the Saturdays and Sundays when the rest of the world was sleeping and I was up doing my income producing activities, that is what sets you apart from the rest. That is what gives you the competitive edge. All right, so number 2, let's talk about mindset. You can sit here right now, and I know that some of you are going, yep, I do everything that she's saying, but I'm still not successful and I don't understand why. Well, let's look at our mindset. So if you are sitting here with doubt, with fear, with every single time that you sit down to send an invite, you say to yourself, this isn't gonna work. This business isn't gonna work. I'm never gonna be successful. They're gonna tell me no. Nobody wants to join my team. Guess what? You are reinforcing that, because wherever you put energy and attention, those will be the results you get. So if you're gonna feed the fire of doubt, if you are gonna feed the fire of negativity, if you are gonna feed the fire of, that your potential is capped and that you didn't get in early enough and you did not, you don't have the right look or the right feel, then yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. But if you say to yourself, I am the top team in the company, I am the top producer in the company, my team has the best vibe and we are growing and we are the top in the entire organization, and you start saying everybody wants to join my team, and if they don't wanna join my team right now, they will later, or if they don't wanna join it, they're gonna refer somebody else, because I'm not going anywhere, because I know that everybody needs health and fitness, and I know that eventually people are gonna want to change their life and they're gonna need a lifestyle change, and I am gonna be here. I'm gonna be the one that they're gonna remember. If it's not today, it might be 6 months from now. If it's not 6 months from now, it might be a year from now, but I will be here when those people are ready. And when you have that mindset of saying, okay, I'm gonna send 50 invites today, And when I send 50 invites, I'm not going to get discouraged if I only get 5 yeses, because I'm going to say at least 50 people now have a seed planted. I'm on 50 people's radars. 5 people took the leap of faith. 5 people joined me. Okay, now I've got 5 people that I'm gonna pour into. I'm not gonna look at the other 45 that told me no. I'm gonna look at the 5 that said yes, and I'm gonna say, you're gonna get the best results possible. I'm gonna pour into you. You are gonna be my next, amazing transformations or top producers. And start looking at the light, start looking at the opportunity instead of at the disadvantage. And that really is it. If you are constantly demotivated or uninspired by the objections and roadblocks, I guarantee you it won't matter if you're working for this company or the next company or the company that you're gonna work for 5 years from now. You will always have the same problem. People will always give you objections. They will always tell you it's too expensive unless they see the value in it. And the only person that's gonna create the value is you. You've got to create that value, and you have to show up with that positive mindset. So words become your reality. Today, right now, what is the narrative that you are telling yourself in your mind? What is the story that you are preaching? I want you to change it. Before you sit down to build your business, turn on some music, read some personal development, tell yourself 5 positive affirmations that are going to help you move your business forward. 5 positive affirmations. If a negative thought creeps into your mind, you got to tell yourself 5 more affirmations before you can even sit down. Because here's the thing, we all are going to be told no. We all are going to have people that quit at one point or another. It is part of business. We're looking at the number of people, the percentage of people that say yes. You think about the top producers out there. You think about the people that are the most successful in a company. You just see the success that they have, but what you don't see is all the people they talk to, all the objections that they've had, all the people that quit or told them, not right now or maybe later. And you want to start focusing on the number of people that you can get in front of versus the end result of success. All right. The next thing is this. You might be going through the motions. I know that some of you are sitting here right now and you're like, yeah, I'm going through the motions. I'm checking the things off my business activity tracker. I'm tuning into the calls. I'm participating in the groups. I'm showing up, but your attitude sucks, or your time management sucks. So now this is the reality check. This is the gut check. Just because you show up, just because your shell is present, doesn't mean people are going to join you. The next thing, the third thing, is your attitude with your team. So if we are the leader, and you can think of yourself as the leader of your family. You can think of yourself the leader of your household. You can think of yourself as the leader of the challengers, the customers, but you can also think about yourselves as the leaders of the team. And so now I want you to look at it this way, your attitude. If you go into, for example, a challenge group and you just post your daily workout selfie and then you're gone for the rest of the day and you don't even show back up, you don't comment, or you just go in and they're like, good job, nice work, really proud of you. There's no energy there. But if you come in and you're like, guys, it's Halloween and we got to be strong. We got to say no to the candy and we got to make sure we're drinking our superfood shake and we're fueling our body with good nutrition and we're not skipping our workout. And you're like, here's some really good candy recipes. And you go in and you create energy. Everybody knows what the goal is. The goal is not to eat all the candy on Halloween, right? The goal is to stay strong. The goal is, and it's because you're in there like rah, 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 cheering them on. Then everybody's going to be strong. But if you just go in and you do your daily post and you get out, yeah, sure, you checked it off the box. Sure, you did it, but there was no passion behind it. There was no excitement behind it. So your attitude, and then let's take that and let's put it into our team. I can go in every Monday and share the National Wake Up Call. I can go in every week and share recordings from, the Coach Online Office. But it's when I go in and I say, all right, guys, today is the launch of Double Time. Here's how I see that it's going to help families. Here's how I see that it's going to help kids be healthier. Here are the 3 things that I'm doing today. Here, I'm going to share my post and I want you guys to share your post below. Can we all get 2 people to join and do Double Time on November 13th in a challenge group with us? Let's do it. Who's in? Everybody knows clearly what the vision is. Everybody knows what the goal is. Everybody can see my passion and energy. And then they're going to watch my social media, which I'm obviously going to practice exactly what I preach. And the whole team knows what direction we're going in. All right. And so it's all about your attitude, your ability to cast vision, your ability to create culture in a positive way. So sure, you can tell me that you are in your team page and you are creating culture and vision, but are you really creating positive culture? Are you really leading your team? Or are you just kind of going through the motions? All right, the last thing that I want to talk to you about today is your why. Now, don't tune me out. Don't turn this off, because here's the thing. Your why is really important. And we're going to talk about this for one moment. Here's the thing. Your why needs to move you emotionally. And I want you to think about your why. And a lot of people diminish their why when the going gets tough, when the road gets a little rocky, and when they're met with obstacles. And I've watched a lot of people do it, right? I've been through this 6 years now. I've watched a lot of people come and go. But here's the thing. Your why is the thing that drives you. And you need to clearly write down why you are doing this business. The more specific, the more powerful it will be. Make it compelling so it causes you to find the time to face your fears and to persevere. When I became a coach, when I first signed up, all I could think about was earning $500 so that I could pay cash for our Christmas presents, because my husband did not believe in the business opportunity that I was a part of. And all I could think was $500 is a short-term goal that if I can do that, I can take ownership of that. Do you know what I did? I got out there and I was like, who wants a refresh? Who wants a challenge pack, right? I was messaging people. I was following up with people. I was adding new people. I was posting on social media many times a day. I was fearlessly going after the goal. And I created my own little sheet where I was keeping track of my commissions. And every single week I needed to have a sale. And if I didn't have a sale, I was going to invite more people. I was going to follow up. I was going to find ways to attract people to me. And I was relentless because I could see the goal, and I visualized my family. I visualized my kids on Christmas morning. I visualized my husband and I not fighting over money that Christmas. That was so powerful to me. Then, once I did that goal, I said to myself, I want to take my family on that Success Club trip. I want to go to Disney. I want my kids to experience Disney, because I don't know when we as a family would ever be able to afford a trip like that to Disney. And I knew, okay, Success Club 5, that's the short-term goal. What do I need to do? I need to get, at least 3 to 5 new customers every single month to check off that goal. And let's talk about this for a moment. There are some months where it's really hard to get 5 people when you're starting a business, but I wasn't gonna let that stop me. I said to myself, how many people do I need to invite per day? What's my number? Is it 5? Is it 10? And at the end of the week, I would say to myself, if I didn't hit the goal, if I didn't get a new customer, what was I gonna do differently? How was I gonna change it? I took responsibility for my actions. I said I can control the bottom line by the work that I do. I wasn't going to leave it up to chance. I wasn't going to leave it up to the people that had a link to buy that hadn't pulled the trigger yet. I was going to keep inviting until I saw the number in my back office, and I was not going to let it be somebody else's responsibility. I took pictures of the magic the Magic Kingdom, the castle. I took pictures of Mickey Mouse and I put them up on a piece of poster board in my office. I put the picture of a dream house, a house that I wanted to buy. I put a picture of books and crossed them off and said, I want to pay off my student loans. I had visually all the things that I wanted to achieve in my life in front of me every day, so that when I sat down and I turned on my computer, I knew what I was working towards. And it didn't matter how many hours I had put in or how long I had worked, because I wasn't going to stop until I reached that goal. And we have to have that reason why, and it has to be compelling enough to drive us towards success. And you know what? Sometimes the goals can be overwhelming. And so did you see what I was sort of doing in this process? I talked about the Success Club goal and I broke it down. 3 to 5 people every single month. Okay, 50 invites per week. Okay, 5 invites per day. That's manageable. Break it down one small piece at a time. But please do not sit there and wait for somebody else to tell you how to break down your goals. Do not sit there and wait for somebody else to tell you to manage your time. Do not sit here and tell me I really need to get better at time management, or I really need to get a system of organization. For goodness sake, stop talking about it and start doing it. Take responsibility for your actions in this business. Take responsibility for your attitude right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like Mel Robbins says, change it. Positive, sit down, invite. You stink at social media, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make a better post then today. Dedicate yourself to being better in that area. You know, that's the bottom line, is you have the power to make the change. It's just, are you gonna make excuses, or are you gonna take control of it and create the action that you need? Look, I'm not always positive when I wake up in the morning. I don't always have a good attitude. And my husband will be the first to tell you, I don't wake up every day and just spring out of bed in the morning. There are days where I have to peel myself out of bed. There are days where I take myself in my office and I feel uninspired. And you know what I do on those days? I sit down and I read. I pour into myself. I take a step away and then I come back re-inspired. It is okay to not be on your A game 24/7, but it is not okay to not take responsibility for your actions. All right? So what are we gonna do? We're not gonna use wimpy words like I am, and we're not gonna lead with negative phrases like I am no longer shy. We're gonna make strong and positive proclamations like I am confident. I am financially free. I own my own home. I have an amazing rock star coaches that are building an incredible business, right? I want you to start thinking about your business as if it is already a success story, and talk about it that way too. Talk about it that way. And then every single week, give yourself the time to recharge, to check yourself at the door, to unplug, to, I don't work 24/7. Contrary to maybe popular belief, I do give myself downtime. I do reflect. I do say, okay, did what I do this week bring me closer to my goals or further away? I reevaluate, I recharge, and then I get focused. And I create those visual reminders for myself of where my team is going, where I'm going, what my purpose is, and what my goals are, and I get realigned. But here's the bottom line. Your business is entirely up to you. There is no scarcity of success. It is yours. It is literally down to the stories you tell yourself, the actions you take, and whether or not you choose to inspire others or to sit back and, and continue feeling stuck. And you don't need to be that way, because it's really up to you. All right, so with that being said, guys, thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode. I know we're broadcasting this live on YouTube. I've been kind of watching all of the chat, and your comments going back and forth. So absolutely, I'm so thankful that you guys show up. And again, if you have any suggestions for future episodes, hit me up at mjmitro@gmail.com. Go subscribe to my podcast on iTunes. Go to melaniemitro.com. I have a little podcast you can go and see all the previous episodes that I have ever published before. You can share those with other people too. And my goal to you is to inspire you, to empower you to realize that everyday normal people can build a business with integrity, with heart, with hustle, and it can really be fulfilling, but it is up to you to make it happen. All right, guys, go have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.